Okay, let's take a look at this right here. It never came to my Walmart. I had to pick it up at another Walmart, and I'm beginning to think I'm missing something from here. Well, the back shows you what you're going to get. It also shows you that it lights up and that there is 2 action figures, which are definitely involved in this. On the front, you see where I took it out, and I've even looked in here for a piece that I'm apparently missing. This cost me actually less than $10. Like I said, I did not get it at my Walmart. My Walmart never carried it. I looked for these figures forever, and we just never got them. I had to get this at another Walmart. We get 2 figures, and we get a roadmap to the entire universe. It's the biggest thing I've ever seen that is meaningless. It's all this text. Who's going to read any of this, to be honest with you? It's showing right here to assemble something. I don't have that something. So there's a missing chunk off at the bottom of mine, unless, well, there's one other place I haven't checked. That's inside of the actual thing itself. So right here is a missing spot. I have nothing that fits there. Inside of my box, there's nothing for it. And I just found it. So if you're having that same issue as me, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have nothing, I'm missing a piece. Because I thought it was underneath this. There's nothing under there. Check under here. This may be the missing piece. And it appears to be so. And it's windy out here, so I can't just leave tissue laying. So let's see, we have, I would first put it in, like when you see something like that, you know you're gonna put that in first. And then click it in. You got this little brown, which completely does not match anything else on this sub, laser. I mean, seriously, it looks like something from Star Trek, but it's brown. All right, there is lights and sounds to this. There's 10 plus sound effects, and if they're randomized, we'll never hear all of them. Okay, it shows, the picture right here shows something that looks a lot bigger, but they're really small, little moving rotors. Oh, that one's about to come off. I thought there was going to be firing missiles, but there's nowhere I could see that would actually be firing missiles. Here's where you would put the action figure. With those things on his back, is he going to actually fit? I have to do some finagling to get him in here. Oh, and these figures have a tendency to spread their legs too when you're trying to set them down, so that's not going to be good. If you force him in there, he will definitely go in there. So that is something. It's supposed to have lights and sounds, but I'm outside and there's a lot of background daylight. Yeah, I'm gonna probably take the batteries out. I'm not a sound person. I like lights, but I don't like sound. Most sounds. There's very few sounds. Like there was this thing that I used to have. It was a jet, and you had a thing you plugged into it. It was like a you know, the joystick inside of a jet, and you push one of the buttons. Actually, it was like this. You didn't plug it in the bottom of it. You stuck into the back of it, and it was a flight stick. That was a pretty awesome thing. I enjoyed a lot. I don't know what happened to it, because when I went off to college, my little brother got everything, and pretty much, who knows where it is now. All right, so this little figure right here, he is missing a few points of articulation, but like the wrist is something I'm like, wow, he does not have wrist articulation. He's got this, so he doesn't need bicep swivels. He's got a hinge and a full 360 in the shoulder. I keep having leaves at my foot. His head is on a ball joint, but it doesn't matter because it's limited by this. Well, it does matter, but not that much. The legs, when you put him forward, they're going to splay. They're on a hinge joint. I think that's what I can see from there. Nope, actually it's a very, very tight ball joint. Once again, Spinmaster, I love you guys, but you don't need a cut here unless you've got double joints here, because this right here does the same job, and it would look a lot better if you didn't cut through this part, if this does just as good. There's also no ankles on this articulation. So I don't really care about the ankles that much, although since he is a swimming character, I would want to point the toes to look like he's actually swimming. Does he hold his trident? Well, he tries to chew it. He tries to chew it because it's sugarless gum. Okay, so the trident's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the Aquaman. All right, it's a little bit darker than the original one I have from a few years ago, the Christmas set. That was a much brighter paint job on those. He also has no wrist, which I like the wrist. Guys, working at that place, I wish you'd cut out this joint right here and put in a joint right here. You know, what if I want him to ride a motorcycle? He's not gonna be able to do that. He can't at least make it where he can rotate his wrist. That's just one thing I can really go for. He's got pretty much the same articulation as his brother. If you haven't watched this movie yet, I highly recommend it. I thought I was gonna break that knee joint just then. So you got a double joint, or not double joint, you got two joints that do the same thing. See, I'm just twisting his thigh around for no reason. I'd rather his thigh have no joint right here, unless they're gonna put a double joint right here. I can say that again and again. I sound like a broken record. But it's not a bad action figure. I prefer these to the Marvel Legends. Yes, they're less articulated, but they're also smaller and cost a lot less. You don't need to have 6 inches of, you know, if size is something that's going to be a bother to you, I mean, you know, if you have to have bigger, never mind. I'm just saying, like, I just think it takes up too much space personally. Now, his trident's a bit weird. Either it's glowing or it's just a bit, looks like an orange. Like really, like an orange. Like the fruit. But he does hold it well. So we have brother and brother. Now, is this, yeah, this is the Lost Kingdom. So this is actually, if you haven't seen the movie yet, you need to watch it because, well, I don't remember a sub in it at all, but it's still a great movie to watch. I think this is kind of a holdover from the first movie. I think they were pushing product out from the first movie just to get rid of the back stock. So just kind of, you know, here we go again. Let's just shove it out there. But I'm fine because I got it for less and I got it complete, thankfully, because I thought, oh, great. I got it incomplete. There's no way I could take it back and get another one. And I wouldn't do it anyway because it costs more gas than actually just deal with it. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, and let me know if this is one of the things you picked up. And also let me know in the comments why you agree that 4-inch figures, 1/18 scale figures are the best.